been my pleasure.
For analysis now ahead of the Prime Minister's talks with President Obama and in the wake of some pretty important talks there on Capitol Hill with congressional leaders, I'm joined by the CEO of the US Studies Centre, Professor Bates Gill. Bates Gill, can you tell me what's at stake in these Oval Office talks tomorrow between the Prime Minister, his first there with President Obama?
I think that's the most important aspect of it. This is the first formal meeting between the two of them as both leaders of their respective countries. What's going to be critical, I think, for the two of them to discuss is the broad range of this relationship. I think all too often we tend to focus rather narrowly either on the security relationship, or now I hear the media sort of putting a lot of time into the differences that might exist over issues related to climate change. But what's really important is to underscore the breadth and depth of this quite remarkable relationship and the durability going forward for these two countries to work together.
So the vast bulk of the agenda tomorrow, what will it be on? I guess climate change might get a mention, but it won't go anywhere near dominating the talks, will it?
No, I don't think so. I think the two issues that are probably going to be first and foremost in the minds of the two leaders would be first the security relationship, which the two have and which they are exploring to try and look to expand, both in the strategic sense, that is, relations vis-a-vis important developments in the region, such as regarding China, regarding Japan, South China Sea, etc., but more specifically to expand the bilateral aspects of the security relationship, the American presence, for example, rotating through Darwin, and other aspects of strengthening that bilateral relationship. Secondly, though, is going to be the trade agenda. The United States and Australia are leaders in trying to promote the Trans-Pacific Partnership. It's met with some snags and stalls. I think, especially going into the G20 meetings here in Australia in November, it's going to be important that there be some momentum coming out of the discussions between the two leaders about how the TPP can move forward.
And the $1 trillion investment, of course, is a side or parallel issue to that one on trade, and that was something the Prime Minister was trying to foster and further there in New York.
Actually, when you consider that per capita, Australia invests more in the United States than the United States invests in Australia. But setting that just sort of statistic aside, we're talking about something in the range of about $1 trillion all up in investment between our two countries. And it's a very, very critical and important part of this relationship, and one that we shouldn't dismiss. That much of Australia's success economically, especially over the past decade on the back of the resource boom, has been generated through some significant capital investment on the part of the United States here in Australia.
So on that issue of climate change that we referred to, you suggested that it's getting a lot of focus, and probably in many people's view, certainly in the government's view, too much focus when you look at the broader relationship. But it is a point of disagreement between the two, at least on how to go about dealing with the issue of climate change. The President, as recently as yesterday, said that he supports a carbon price.
Right. I mean, that's a policy issue. That's a tactical question, I would say, about how different governments are going to try and deal with what, at bottom, they both realize and agree is a challenge that needs to be dealt with. I don't think leaders, politicians reach their positions without understanding that different political approaches are going to be needed to be pragmatic to reach a similar goal. So I just don't see this as being a major point of contention in those discussions. I'm sure the differing point of views will be stated as to the correct policy, but ultimately the important thing is that both countries recognize that this is a big challenge that needs to be tackled. That's big, and that's a big step forward.
Bates Gill, and finally, the gift the Prime Minister's taking is a Malibu surfboard, hand custom made in his electorate. How will that be received in the Oval Office by the President?
That's going to create a lot of camaraderie, I would expect. The President, as we all know, is himself something of a sportsman. I had hoped that maybe they'd play basketball at the White House court, but I guess it's not to be.
Bates Gill, thank you very much for your time this morning and your insights. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.